I'm a spirit channeler and oracle card reader who channels both light and shadow energies in my readings, which means if you're easily triggered, please find yourself another reader. Hey everyone, so if you've noticed, I've slightly changed my YouTube channel name, and as a result, I've slightly changed the name of my Ko-fi account. So the corrected link to my Ko-fi account is now in the description box if you would like to donate or receive a personal reading. The old links on the old videos no longer work. Now, I currently have my personal reading shop open. I'm very hot and cold when it comes to opening my shop and closing my shop. So I do recommend that if you have been wanting a personal reading from me, that you jump on it while my shop is open, because I cannot guarantee how long I will decide to have it open. People may not necessarily know this, but being a medium for these spiritual realms has its pros and cons. There are negative side effects to it. So at any moment, I could change my mind and close the shop, but of course, donations will always be welcome. And that was my announcements for the day. So today's reading will be on the topic of quick messages from my spiritual team. What messages do they have to give me? So this time you have 3 piles to choose from left to right, pile 1, 2, and 3. Pause the video if you need some more time to choose your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So what are the quick messages from your spiritual team? I just want to point out that you picked one of my newest crystals, and I just want to show it off. Isn't it so cute? It's called, I think it's called a craculated quartz or something like that. And it's dyed. I just want to show it off. It's just so pretty. So messages from your spiritual team. So you guys are definitely switching jobs soon. Most of you guys here are looking for a new job. We start off right away with this occupation card. Seriously, all of you guys are switching jobs. Now, if you're currently unemployed, as a lot of you guys are, you're going to be finding a new job soon. Don't worry about it. Now, if you're trying to figure out where do I look for this new job, for the majority of you guys, like about 70 to 75% of you guys, this job is going to be remote and online. You're going to be working from your own home. So this is a good opportunity to maybe get a new desk and get a new office chair, desk chair, and also maybe upgrade your internet speed if you need to. Just, to prepare yourself. But the vast majority of you guys are going to be working remotely or online from home. Now, the smaller percentage of you guys, I'm picking up maybe about 25 to 30% of you guys, are going to be working somewhere that requires you to either relocate for the job completely or requires you to travel a lot for this job. So when you're at home, you're going to be working from home. And then from time to time, I'm picking up, you're going to have to hop on a plane or a train and drive to another city location. And from there, you're going to be working out of the office in that city. So that's going to give some of you guys a clue. Those of you who are going to be working remotely and from home 100% of the time, you're going to have clients or customers who are your patrons from around the world. So if you're selling a product or if you're working for a company, you might be doing customer service, but all of the customers mainly are going to be from, at the very least, they're going to be from out of province or state, or they're just going to be completely foreign from another country. So yeah, definitely, I see you guys starting a new job. This is a job that you're going to like. We do have this occupation card as opposed to the other work cards. So this is very much more in alignment with your skills and something that you're actually going to enjoy doing. So we have this shield card here and the king, and then we have the wolf. Notice how we have the wolf behind the king's back, and then we have the shield card in the front of the king. So you're definitely having some issues with people or spirits, or a mixture of both if the spirits are using people. who are backstabbing you, talking behind your back, and trying to sabotage you. So if you kind of feel like this is happening, you're not imagining things. So if there aren't people in real life, it's purely spirits. If there are people in real life, then it could be purely people, or it could also be a mixture of the both of them. Now, underneath the deck, I do have this Sphinx card, choose your words wisely. So with that, what I'm seeing is that a lot of you guys have a spiritual power when it comes to manifestation, that it arises more from your words, like your speech and your thoughts, but mainly your speech, but also your thoughts. Because of course, if you're someone who is more isolated and you don't really speak to a lot of people, then you're mainly thinking, whatever takes up the bulk of the majority of your time. But watch your thoughts and watch your speech. Your speech I'm picking up, will override your thoughts. So if you very purposefully say something out loud, just to the air, that you want to manifest, with a lot of intent and concentration, I do feel like that will override any kind of negative thoughts you may have had about that subject. And the subject we're focusing on here is definitely your occupation, seriously, because this whole reading is about your occupation. I feel like that will help to override the negative thoughts that you may have produced during the day about your occupation. So make sure that every day you are saying some sort of affirmations, and not just repetitive affirmations. I mean, yeah, you can repeat them, but it's more for you guys. It seems like it's more about saying something affirmatively, with concentration and power and intent. Just saying that like 2 times in a given day would be enough than having to repeat an affirmation like 300 times in a day. You know what I mean? So it's all about your intent and your concentration behind it, because there does appear to be some power, at least for right now. This could be something that's ingrained in you all the time, or it could be just this period of time, like there's something going on with your astrological chart and the planets right now, and there may be some sort of Mercury heavy influence happening with your chart and with the planets right now, where it's kind of like right now you really need to watch your words and your thoughts. But whether this is just you in general, or just for this time being, just watch your thoughts. So like I said, some of you guys, you do have people here with this wolf card. Some people are going to try to give you some advice about your career that is not in alignment. So be careful with this, okay? I do see some people trying to keep some of you guys down on their level, because look, you're represented here by the king. So not only are you prosperous and abundant in your personal life the way a queen is, but you also have the ability to conquer abundance and wealth and success on a worldwide or a country nationwide scale. So, which is, again, this is in alignment with this job occupation here I'm seeing, of it being online and you having a lot of clients and customers from out of province or out of the country. So whatever you were doing before was not close to what you're going to be doing now. So a lot of you guys I'm seeing you have some friends who you might need to remain mute about your intentions, because especially if you're currently unemployed. If you're currently employed and your friends don't know that you're trying to quit your job and look for a new job, then just don't tell them. But for those of you who are unemployed, your friends are going to be asking, and I say friends, it could be acquaintances or family members as well. They're going to be asking, have you thought about what you want to apply for, and that sort of stuff. Do not tell these people the thoughts that you have, the ideas that you have, because you're going to have ideas that are floating in and out, like that are going to lead you to this thing up here. So you're going to have some ideas that pop in, like, oh, what about this? And then you might look into it and you might find like, nah, that's not it. And then you might think, oh, what about this? And then you might look into it and feel like, nah, that's not it. But all of those thoughts are not wasted, because they're leading you towards this. Because it's people a lot of times they think of like, oh, be the fool from like the tarot and like jump from a cliff, but that's not really how life works. In order for you to get to the other side of the cliff, which is where this job lies, you kind of need to take a couple of leaps. So I see you taking a bunch of leaps where these ideas, these thoughts are coming into your head, and and that's going to lead you to the other side of the cliff, which is this job here, which is a great employment opportunity, or a great self-employment for most of you guys opportunity. Now, what I'm telling a lot of you guys who have these friends or these family members or whatnot, could even be romantic partners, who know that you're unemployed, don't really tell them these thoughts that are popping up into your head, these ideas. You go investigate them on your own silently. And if they ask you, oh, are you looking for jobs? Have you found anything? What have you applied for lately? What kind of jobs are you looking into? Just make some shit up. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to say. You can tell them, if you want to be outright and tell them mind their own business, tell them that. But I highly doubt, for those of you who have this issue here with friends, that you'll be able to tell them that. I don't want you to outright lie and say, oh, I'm just looking for the same thing that I left before, because I don't want you speaking that out, because I just told you to watch your words. But whatever you decide to tell them, just don't tell them your ideas, because they're going to poke holes in it and send kind of negative energies towards it that dampen your confidence when it comes to these things. Because remember, you're taking a bunch of leaps to get to the other side of the cliff, so you're not strolling. And so your feet are not always completely on the ground. You're not always grounded. Okay. So if someone were to dampen your confidence, it's like a weight that applies to your shoulders or to your head, and it drops you down as you're leaping in the air. You know, when you leap, you're in the air for a certain amount of time, and then you finally drop back down. Whoops. Their negative words, ideas, and thought forms are going to put weight on you when you're at the peak, and you're going to drop back down before you reach what was supposed to be the end point. Hopefully that makes sense. So just don't tell, basically all that to say, don't tell people what you're thinking about, your thoughts, because I see you guys switching jobs into a new field that is not the same as what you were doing before, and it's higher. It's going to pay more. It's going to give you a better control of your own schedule. Again, some of you guys is going to require you actually moving to another city. So just don't tell these people. Now, for the rest of you where these aren't people, or it's half people but half spirits. Now, all you need to know is that you're protected here with the shield card. You are safe from harm. And I do feel like this card is coming out mainly for the people who are having issues with like these trickster spirits, or any kind of spirits who are messing with them or whatnot. The evil eye, maybe even some hexes from some old coworkers who don't want you to succeed if you quit your old job, and they wanted to quit too, but they weren't able to quit. Or like, why does she get to quit? And it's funny, I'm fiddling with the deck behind the camera, and I pulled the queen. Remember I mentioned the queen, as you got the king as opposed to the queen. So I am seeing some of you guys, it's kind of like, who does she think she is? And I'm seeing, again, a female, because you were able to quit this job that no one really likes. And if you tell your old coworkers or whatnot what you're doing, or some of your old coworkers may have just sent out some negative juju or evil eye or whatever to you, like, oh, she thinks she's probably going to get a better job than this one, and they're resentful that they had to remain. So these spirits, they could be like projections from people. They could be trickster spirits acting on their own accord or whatnot. Whatever they are, watch out for the thoughts that they put into your head where it's like, oh, I don't think I can really do this. Another thing, their power is coming from your old thought forms. So you guys are switching paradigms right now. So you guys are in a transitionary period. I'm sure if I was using that Colette Baron Reed Wisdom of the Oracle deck, I would have gotten that in-between card. I can't remember what it's actually called. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys here. So their power is coming from the old paradigms that are still lingering in your subconscious mind and around your aura. You're currently working through this. Like I said, those leaps that you're taking, it's like switching paradigms. So just watch out for thoughts, and where it's like, oh, this is not going to work, self-defeating thoughts. This is not going to work. They're not going to like me. Who do I think I am to apply for this great job over here? I don't have the experience, or I've never had a job that paid this much. Like some of you guys may be looking at, or will be looking at, jobs that pay twice your hourly wage, and you might be intimidated by that, thinking, oh my God, I've never made this much before, and that sort of stuff. Just all I'm saying is just watch out for those thoughts, and just continue to affirm out loud that, you make your own affirmation, whatever your goal is. If it's a specific job or a specific hourly wage or specific type of job, like you want to be working from home or whatnot, or you want to move, just affirm very firmly that it has happened, it's happening. Make up like a phrase that sort of encompasses your goal, and that should help you to override these self-defeating thoughts and attacks from other people and entities and thought forms. Because just know that the universe is moving with you towards this new direction, but you have to paddle a bit. So don't just sit and lay in the boat and just rely on the waves of the universe to carry you forward. You have to do some paddling, because like I said, a lot of your weight is still leaning towards the past, your old paradigms, okay? So those are your messages. I hope that helped you, and I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal 2. Welcome to your reading. So what messages do your spirit guides have for you today? So this reading is very straightforward. We cannot spin this in a sort of fluffy fashion, even if we wanted to. I'm not that type of reader. I don't spin things in fluffy fashions. I always give my disclaimer at the beginning of the video. This reading is just boom, bam, straight to the point. There's no denying the information that's being given out here. So we do have this thoughts card underneath the deck. From the Kipper deck and from the other deck, we also have this love card. So we know right now that this is about love. Look how it says true love and fidelity here. And we have the thoughts underneath the other deck. Here we have the expectations. You guys know that your romantic relationship is over. Most of you guys, this is a marriage. We do have this marriage card, but it doesn't have to be. It's just a relationship that is over. I just split the Kipper deck, and I did get the courthouse card. Most of you guys are getting a divorce. This is happening. Your marriage is over, your romantic relationship is over. Be prepared to start filing divorce papers if you haven't already, or separation papers. I don't know if you actually have to file for separation. I think you do, but that's happening. That's happening imminently, if it isn't already happening. Now, there is a third party involved here. I'm not going to lie to you. A good reason, or like a main reason why your marriage or your relationship is over, is because of a third party, because of infidelity. Now, I'm not saying that's the only reason, because I am picking up an air of issues prior to your romantic partner stepping out. And it is feeling like more like the other romantic partner is the one who has the side person, but it could be you. Either way, you know of this. I really feel like most of you guys, it's the other person who has a romantic partner. You already know of this. Again, expectation. Look at you. You're looking at someone else stealing your romantic partner, your husband away, or your wife away. Like, look. You're looking at it happening, and some of you guys are trying to deny it. Underneath this, look what we have. Just in case we're saying, maybe you're not looking there. Maybe you're looking off into the distance. We have the seer card, follow your intuition. And remember, underneath the deck, we did have the thoughts card. You know intellectually from the logical mind standpoint, and you also know intuitively from the third eye standpoint. You know both ways. A lot of times in relationships where you think a romantic partner is cheating on you, you think you know it in your gut or intuitively in your third eye, but you don't have any logical 3D concrete evidence because they haven't slipped up too much. You haven't really caught them in a lie. You don't have any text messages. So logically you're thinking, well, logically you can't connect them. You can't connect anything logically to your feelings. But for you guys, it's both. Not only do you have your intuitive feelings telling you that they're cheating on you and they want to end the marriage, but you might have text messages, you might have caught them outright in lies, you may have actually seen them, you may have a friend who saw them with the other person. You have both 3D evidence and intuitive evidence. Now, this is a lot. I can't make this up here. Mind you, this is a general reading. For some of you guys, it could just be that they're cheating on you with one person. Not like that's necessarily better, because I do feel like that one person, if it's just one person, is rather significant and they will be leaving you for that one person. But a good chunk of you guys here, with this combo coming out, it's a multitude of people. It's a multitude of people. It's not necessarily one person. It's just that this person is maybe seeing a bunch of escorts, or going to a bunch of massage parlors, or going out to bars. I'm seeing for some of them. Because even in this card, it looks like they're standing outside of a bar and, trying to swindle him and stuff like that. And look, she looks like she's on a bar, what do they call it? Like a bar stool, like where the bartender is, with the cup, the chalice in her hand. And so I'm seeing like bars and stuff, going out, meeting up people, going to motels, or going back to their place. And it's like you have these both logical 3D evidence, because they may come back drunk with lipstick on them, or like smelling like women's perfume, or like maybe they come back and they don't have to take a shower. When it's like you've been out drinking all night, but you come back and you do not have to take a shower. It's like, where did you take your shower? Anyways, so this is happening. This is not news to you. So what messages do they want to tell you? I guess they just want to tell you that it's happening, to stop lying to yourself and stop trying to make yourself believe that it's not happening, because it actually is happening. Some of you guys may be feeling like, oh, I think I could save this marriage or this relationship. It's not happening. It's not happening. The person's already gone. We have this thief card in between you and the marriage. The marriage is over. It's over. It's over. It's over. So I guess your spirit guides want you to move on, to stop clinging to this old person. If you still are clinging to this old person, if some of you guys are still on the fence about believing this, but you're not necessarily clinging to this person, you just want, you're just not too sure, this is your confirmation that they want to bring forth to you. Others of you guys, this is a call for you to get with the paperwork quickly, because I'm not an expert on marriage. I've never been married, but perhaps there's an advantage for being the first person to file for separation or divorce. I don't know if there is. You might want to make sure you're the first person. If you need to separate some assets immediately, look, it's funny. As soon as I said that, my eyes went straight to him pulling his watch away, his gold watch away. So I'm seeing some of you guys need to separate your money from a joint bank account, because if he first I'm going to keep calling him an he, but it could be a she, you make it resonate. But if he first decides to be the one first to file for divorce, especially when it comes to males are very logical. They're very on point when it comes to mundane stuff. I mean, their brains, the yang energy is literally made for connecting to the matrix at the highest level. The yin energy is made more for connecting to the higher realms, which is why, historically or more traditionally speaking, men usually make more money and all that kind of stuff than women and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But women have the better intuition, we're better nurturers, and that kind of stuff. But what I'm getting at is that don't, especially if you're dealing with a man, watch your money in joint bank accounts, because don't put it past him to freeze it if he has that kind of authority. Because look, we have this guy in a top hat. I know he's technically getting married, and when people get married, they put on their finest clothes. But back in this time, if you have a woman who's able to afford this kind of lavish dress, you have this kind of lavish background, you have a guy in a little top hat. Even if you're a regular middle-class person back in this time, you would not even have a top hat, even for the most fanciest occasion. So what I'm getting at here, and we have two top hat men here, he probably has connections, he has money. He's successful. He's a businessman. For most of you guys, look, I just look at this. You can't see it because it's behind the deck, but I'm fiddling with the Kipper deck in my hand. It's split. Half of the deck fell from my hand, and look what fell out. Sudden wealth. So this is a message for some of you guys. You're dating some guy who deals a lot with your marital finances. He could be a banker or an investor or something to do with the financial markets, I'm seeing for some of you guys. And if that's the case, this is a direct message for you guys to watch your money and hop on it. So your spirit guides want you to hop on that immediately, get a lawyer immediately. Because you're coming off, especially with this expectation card, being on top of the seer card is a little bit more airy, which is not a problem usually, but when it comes to something like this, it is a problem. So you need help, you need to get help, you need to get a lawyer. Make sure you're not I can't make this up. I split the deck again. We have the imprisonment card. If this is a serious message for some of you guys here, if you don't act quickly, and if you kind of feel like, oh, maybe he's not going to go through with the divorce. Listen, if you don't act and snap out of it, you're going to be left at the end of the divorce with less money than you're entitled to. Seriously. Less money than you're entitled to. So watch out for that. Okay? Watch out for that. So those are your messages. I hope that helped you, and I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, pal number 3. Welcome to your reading. So what messages do your spirit guides have to give to you? We start off nicely here with these first 3 cards, main, female, gift, and distant horizons. And then we get a little bit concerning down here. So underneath the deck of the Kipper cards, I do want to show that you have the imprisonment card. And underneath the deck of the other one, you have the water card, emotions are at their peak. Now, I'm picking up 2 things here because this is a general reading. I'm picking up 2 things, but I am picking up one more than the other. I'm picking up, the first one I'm picking up about 65% of you guys, maybe 60 to 65% of you guys. This is some kind of a friends with benefits, sugar daddy type of thing, where you're going to have a male. It could even be a female, but most of you guys, it's a male, because here we have you being the female, who's going to offer you a trip abroad, a vacation. So soon you're going to be offered a vacation. You may have already been offered it with some guy who is wealthy, or he has hookups to, he has a lot of air miles so he can get you a free ticket, and he has maybe some fidelity card with a hotel on the resorts, so he can get discounted rooms or whatnot, or a room, period, one room. Okay. And you're really excited. You're like, oh my God, this is great. This is a gift. I don't really have to pay for much, or maybe I only need to pay for my ticket to get there, but I'm going to have a free room. I'm going to have free food, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And you feel like, oh my God, it's a gift. I'm not seeing it being now. Okay. I'm not saying you shouldn't take it. All I'm saying is to be a bit careful, because we do kind of have a downgrade here. We have a kind of like, whoop, this is great. And then we have, and then we end on this moon card. We have the seduction, we have the dagger, and then we have the moon card, where it's kind of like this person has ulterior motives. Now, obviously, we know what the ulterior motives are. Any kind of wealthy man offering a pretty lady a free trip abroad, to a vacation, is going to want to only have one room, and you know what that is with the seduction card here. Passion and romance await. The issue is, I don't see you being super pleased at the end, because I remember at the underneath the deck we do have this imprisonment card. You're not going to be super pleased at the end. Again, remember, we do have the water card underneath the other deck. Lots of emotion. So I am seeing a lot of like passion and emotions between the two of you guys. It's fun, it's new, it's adventurous, and it's, of course, if this person's wealthy and they can pay for things, it makes you flutter inside. It's like, oh, I don't really have to lift a finger, blah, blah, blah. This is a gift, but I'm not seeing you being super happy at the end with it. Okay. Now for the other part of you guys, I did say this subgroup was about 60 to 65% of you guys. The other 40 to 35% of you guys, this is a job offer from out of town, from another city. This is a job offer. Now, this is a job offer where they're going to ask you to work online or work remotely. It's going to be some sort of remote job offer, or it's going to be some sort of job offer where it's in another city, another town, and you would have to move for it. Now, this could come in the form of either them literally offering you the job because you applied and you did the interview and they're like, hey, we want to give you the job. Or it could be you hearing about the job, or you searching for jobs and you finding the job and you seeing it and you saying, hey, I want to apply for it. So it could be either one of those. Don't just think purely, oh, I haven't received any job offers yet. Pay attention to the jobs you're looking at. If you see a job where you're like, oh my God, this seems great, I get to work from home, or I get to move to this new city or something like that, and they pay very well, this kind of remote job that pays very well. They have a lot of benefits because we do have this gift card as opposed to any of the money cards. But mind you, because this is general reading, I'm also picking up 2 subgroups here. But it's like there's a lot of benefits to it, or maybe they have free vacations or something like that. There's something about this job offer that you're going to see or receive that is going to have a lot of benefits to it, benefit packages and stuff like that. I would avoid it. Now, I'm not saying you should avoid it like the plague, but you should definitely still avoid it. Again, remember, we did have that imprisonment card underneath the deck. So, and look, as soon as I pull this card out, look what's underneath that. There's one of the money cards right there. Remember I was just talking about that? There's unexpected income. We literally have someone more wealthy giving you money. This goes for both subgroups here. Here's a wealthy man or whatever, wealthy woman giving you money. And then again, this could be a businessman as a job offer. It could be some sort of sugar daddy thing happening here. Either way, there's going to be some sort of weird entrapment thing happening here that you're not going to be pleased with at the end, especially if it requires you to move. Okay, if this is a vacation, remember, you're going to be stuck in a foreign country with very little money. If you decide to go with this guy and you don't have a lot of your own money, because say you go to some place where the resort rooms are expensive, like every night it's like $300 a night or something like that, I don't know. And say you get into a fight with this guy, or you had enough of him or something like that, and the way he's treating you, or always expecting you to jump on him every second of the day or something, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. Are you really going to have the money to be able to pay your own flight back home? Because they say he was paying both flights. Are you also going to have the money to be able to buy your own room for a couple nights before your flight, and also pay for your own flight home? Just ask yourself those questions, because I do see something at the end of the trip. You're going to be happy to get back home, and you're not really going to want to talk to him after that. It's just, I see you guys being just kind of like disgusted and annoyed and over the person. You're just over the situation and the person. At some point during we're in the middle of vacation, you're going to want to go home. So keep that in mind. If he doesn't want to go home, because say you guys were supposed to go there for 3 weeks, and say it's been 2 and you were like, I want to go home, he's going to be like, no. Then what are you going to do? Do you have the money to buy your own ticket back? So, and also say you're living in his family home or something like that. Do you have the money to go rent your own room at a hotel? Because you were staying free at his family's lodge in this country or whatnot. So, and also with this new job offer, if you pick up and pack up and move, and you end up hating this job, then you're kind of stuck there, especially for some of you guys if this is some kind of remote job. Because I am seeing for a smaller percentage of you guys within that 35 to 40% where this is a job. I am seeing like it's in it, because remember I did say in another town. I'm not someone who's likely to say that often because I come from a big city, so I'm more likely to say moving to another city. In fact, even the first pile was about potentially moving to another city. The word town didn't even escape my lips in the first pile. But for you guys, for some reason, I did say a new town. And only after saying town at least 2 times did I throw in city, because I did think about the fact that I was saying town, and I was thinking, why am I saying town? Like, but some of you guys here, this job offer is going to be some sort of laborious job. I did just pull this card out of the deck, maybe housekeeping or something in a town, like a resort, one of those tourist towns where it's a great place to vacation, but it's not really set up to have long-term residents. We all know those kinds of towns where people go to ski and snowboard or whatnot, but it's not really set up to have long-term residents. So if you end up working there in those tourist towns, your room or your accommodations are provided by the company. So I am seeing for some of you guys, if this is a town position, your accommodations will probably be provided by the company. And if you get there, you move all your stuff there, you move your life there, and then you discover, man, I don't really like this job. What are you going to do? Not only would you not have a job if you quit the job, but you also wouldn't have a place to stay if you quit the job. And then others of you, like I said, this is an online opportunity. I mean, if it's an online opportunity, you have less invested, unless, of course, they ask for upfront money. At that point, you should know that that's a red flag. You shouldn't even need me to tell you that. But there is still something like a waste of time. Even if you go through the interview process and all that, and even if you get hired and go through the training and all that, I do see something like being a waste of time. Let me get one card to clarify an purely online opportunity. Look, I got the water again. I got the water again. That was underneath the deck. Emotions are at their peak. I do see you being angry and emotional, maybe even depressed, and regretful that you even took this opportunity in the first place. And there's going to be something about this opportunity where it's like you wasted time, or you would have had to give up another opportunity. And look what's underneath the deck after I just remember, this card was underneath the deck before. You heard me shuffle. I got that one. Again, underneath the deck here, I do have this caduceus card. You will receive news from afar. So again, I'm telling you guys, the group of you guys where this is a job, this is a position where their head office is in another city. You're going to have to relocate, or it's going to be virtual. So you're going to be speaking with these people solely on the phone and through emails and through Zoom and all that kind of stuff. So I do see you not being happy with the job in the end, and you're going to want to quit. So depending on how much you have to invest in taking this job, like I said, moving to a completely new town, it's going to be more difficult to actually quit it. Yeah. And then, like I said, the subgroup of you guys where this is a vacation. This could also be, it doesn't have to be a male or kind of sugar daddy, sugar baby kind of thing. That is what it is for most of you guys who are in that subgroup. But it could be a female friend or a male friend, if you're a male of the same sex, where it's a platonic type of vacation, but they're more wealthy than you. They're like, don't worry, I'm going to pay for everything, or you just pay for your flight, I'm going to pay for the room, or I pay for the flight because I have these miles or whatnot, you just pay for the room, or I'm going to, you know what I mean, I pay for the food. Like, it's going to be super cheap or completely free for you to go. I still do see at the end, nearing the end of the trip, you're going to be pissed off. You're going to be tired of them, of being around them, and you're going to be feeling a little bit stuck there. Okay? So those are your messages. I hope that helped you, and I hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, and I will see you in my next reading.